Hello and welcome everybody. For those of you who don't know me, Zachary Betters, full-time real estate investor, and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. And so I thought today I would just start out with the idea of why am I even making videos? Why am I starting a channel? What's my purpose? And so I call this my intro to why I'm stepping out, right? And it all comes down to me for this idea of a calling with one word: impact. I have this on my heart every day, every night when I go to sleep, of the idea of what is the impact that you have on the world around you? Can I leave this world a better place than when I found it when I came in? And hopefully one day when I'm long gone, people can look back and somebody will say, you know what? That was a guy that had some sort of positive impact on the world, positive impact on their life, right? And so what I've found is that I can't have impact in isolation. So this is a stepping out moment for me as somebody who is pretty humble. I like to consider myself pretty humble and more or less pretty reserved. And so to be able to step out, talk about myself, the things that I've done, and do it in front of a bunch of people, not exactly what I consider my typical day-to-day. So this is me stepping out. And so why do I find it's so important? I struggle with these ideas of how to make the most impact. I do things locally with my church, with my family. I have young kids that I try to give into so that they can go and develop into producing, members of society, and they can leave the world a better place. But at some point, I just have these limitations, right? And I have to step out and I've got to go big. I've got to get out of my comfort zone to be able to have a bigger impact, right? And so I've spent the last 17 years really working on myself, developing as a person. I call it personal and professional development. It's one of my core values and one of the things that I try to focus in on every day. I grow as a person, as a husband, as a father, as a PA, as a real estate investor. And now I think back to these ideas. As I was a PA, for example, I had a mentor that was a physician, Dr. Kendrick, who was really kind of grooming me into who I needed to be as a provider. And an opportunity came up where they wanted somebody to be a mentor to new graduate PAs and NPs, where they could teach them the ropes of what they needed to know to successfully practice medicine. And they came to me with this opportunity and they said, Zach, I think that you would be great in this position. And I really felt overwhelmed and was overly humbled by, who am I to think that I'm in a position that I can actually help and teach these individuals. And he left me with a really great quote then that's obviously stuck with me to this day. And he says, listen, the gifts that you have are not for you. The gifts that have been given to you are meant to get out into the world. And it is your obligation to actually give back. And so as me, who wants to continue to have impact and influence on the world, stewardship, and to make improvements, I actually realize that I have to get out of my comfort zone of this overly, isolated, reserved person to actually be able to get out there and make an impact. And so especially now in the midst of this world of negativity, where we're all so quick to just focus and harp on the negative loops and patterns of life that don't get us anywhere, I think it's even more important to kind of get out there with a positive light and a positive mind, where people can learn from the hardships that I've had, the lessons that I've had to learn, and from some of the wins that I've had, and to be able to kind of positively impact and expedite their journey in this world. I really believe that the difference in this world, where we come out, is all made up in the small things, the small decisions on a daily basis that are so small seemingly that they're easily overlooked, right? They're easily pushed to the side. You can use it from a diet, like the bowl of ice cream every single night. Seems like an obvious one, right? But just a small little bowl of ice cream every single night, and the impact that can have in your life, 20 years into it. And I know adversity and challenges are part of everybody's life, everybody's story, but it's how we respond to these adversities that really makes a difference. Over the last 20 years, I've worked from growing from, a child that was born to a single mother, in subsidized housing. I made bad decisions as a kid. I left high school without an actual diploma. And not to get lost in the adversity, but knowing that the adversity is, you know, the iron striking iron that actually can groom us into who we need to be. Those all life experiences set me up with all the experience that I needed to change the trajectory of the next 20 years of my life, right? Where I went from not having a high school diploma to then having 3 college degrees, all of which I, you know, excelled in and kind of was towards the top of the class, to then become a physician assistant, which few people are able to do, to then become a leader in that industry, to be a leader among my peers, to be able to give back to people. And again, this is not a matter of a brag point whatsoever, but meant more for just an idea of influence and impact to somebody else's life, that somebody else is listening to these stories and saying, listen, I would love to fill in the blank. I would love to be an entrepreneur. I would love to start a business. I would love to go back to school, but fill in the other blank. Whatever that self-limiting belief that they have is, you know, I come from too small of a beginning, too small of a town. I don't have these skills. And I want to be able to reach out into those people's lives and say that you can. You can. Whatever you want in this world can be yours if you surround yourself with the right people, with the right mindset, and the right focus. I mean, I've gone from a successful healthcare career where I was making 6 figures, and it was hard to leave that position to step out into the unknown world of entrepreneurship, where you go through so many ups and downs. What a roller coaster it is of not knowing what tomorrow is going to bring. You know, you get thrown into it with the excitement of the hope of the mountain peaks, of what's all the way up there, but you get beat up by the valleys all along the way. And I want to be able to give out there and say, listen, whatever you want in the world can be yours. Not will be, but can be yours if you focus in with the right steps and the right mindset. So come along on this journey with me. I'm going to continue to talk a little bit more about my journey. I want you guys to give me the feedback. Give me your comments, throw out some questions, the concerns, the fears, the self-limiting beliefs that you have, your goals and your aspirations, and let's all encourage each other, and I'll make videos to help you out with whatever issues that you're having to kind of get you to the next level. But I just wanted to make the first video here to let you guys know why I'm stepping out, where my background is, who I am today, and whether I'm even worth listening to. I'm not here to be a guru. I don't have all of life figured out, but I continue to strive every day to be better today than I was yesterday, and that continues to be my goal, and I want to help you along with that too. So again, thanks for listening. I'm Zachary Betters, and until next time, stay strong.